Good morning. Welcome to Mornings with Mike and Susie. How's everyone doing on this beautiful Tuesday morning?
It really is a beautiful day out. I was thinking, I wish we could do this outside.
That'd be good. Excuse me.
Oh, I didn't want to come in. It's so nice out, right?
Well, it didn't start that way. So last night I decided that I was going to get up and go for a walk or a run. And I walked outside and it was cloudy and I saw drizzle on the truck and I was like, oh my goodness, do I want to go? It's not raining right now, but do I risk possibly getting rained on? And I decided to go anyway. So I went for a 30-minute walk / run. I ran for, 15, 20 minutes. So it was good.
I have a problem with this because you have not been walking or running for a long time.
Yeah.
And yesterday I went for a walk and I decided to jog for 10 minutes, which was a big deal for me because I'm not a runner. And so I came back and I was so excited and I told you I jogged for 10 minutes.
I know, it was good.
And so what do you do today?
You inspired me.
Go jog for 15 or 20.
You inspired me. You should feel good.
I don't. I feel like it's a competition and you're winning.
I will say though, I'm not gonna lie. I will say that when you said what your average pace was, I just made sure I was under it.
My pace.
Yes.
Mike Melnick, you're infuriating sometimes.
So this morning though, my alarm clock was set for 4:55. And I usually hit the snooze once. Well, this morning, and I don't know if you heard it, but my alarm was going off. And we use an Alexa for our alarm.
You do.
I do. And I couldn't remember what to say. I was so tired. Like, Alexa, I'm like, what's the word?
Oh my God.
How do I make it? What is it? And I couldn't remember because I didn't want it to stop. But I couldn't think of the word snooze, and it kept going and going, and I'm like, and I finally remembered it, but yeah.
Well, I'm glad you got out. That's good, honey. And I even told you I'm going to start getting up in the mornings to go for a jog in the morning.
I know. You see, you inspire me.
I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I think we're too competitive by nature, but
that's true. I
have puff sleeves on today.
I know, I like it.
I feel like Diane Barry from Anne of Green Gables with the puff sleeves. Any girls know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No idea.
No. I had the whole set of Anne of Green Gables books when I was, I don't know how old I was, younger.
Younger?
A kid, a teenager, I don't know. And I loved them. I read them all and then I watched the movies and so... Diane Barry in her puff sleeves that Anne always wanted. Anyway.
So what did you do this past Memorial Day weekend? If you're a parent of a child in school, they had both Friday and Monday off.
I had no idea they had Friday off until like Wednesday. The kids told me. I just assumed it was just Monday. And then Brooklyn, our youngest daughter, actually has today off too because her school is making up snow days. Which I'm just going to leave my comments about that.
I don't know if I can.
Quiet. I think they already had 89 snow days. So that they did not have
the amount of days they've missed this past year. Anyway. So what did you do So Friday, let us know down in the chat.
Yeah.
What did you do this past weekend? And let us know.
Brandy, I knew you would like my Anne of Green Gables puff sleeve reference. No one else does, but Brandy likes it.
So Friday, we took our older two girls and we went and saw the new movie Cruella.
Cruella de Vil, Cruella de Vil. No.
As I'm watching the movie, I was trying to think, what was the first movie? What was the name?
101
I know.
Dalmatians.
I couldn't think about it. I'm like, I know this is like
I'm
the
worried
backstory.
about you. If anyone has any recommendations for good supplements for memory loss, I'm just kidding.
I loved it. It was great.
It was very good.
Really good. It was
long.
really good. Yes.
2 hours and I think 14 minutes. But I kind of like when a movie is long. I feel like you're getting more bang for your buck. Like they're entertaining me for longer when I'm paying for that $15 movie ticket. So we went to a fancy movie theater. Where we live, we just got leather reclining seats in our movie theater a couple years ago. So I feel like we're a little behind. So if you live in a different part of the country and you've already had this, you know, like when we were in Texas, we had awesome movie theaters. But we went to Syracuse to Movie Tavern where they bring you food.
Yes.
While you're watching the movie. So that was like a special novelty, especially for the kids because they've never done that before. And
so we had dinner and a movie right there.
And a movie.
Like not dinner here and a movie over.
You too could do dinner and a movie for like $200. It was not cheap, but it was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And we had a busy weekend. Adeline went to our oldest, who's in youth. She went to youth convention this weekend. It was on Saturday in Syracuse, and I know our youth took a van full, and they had an absolute blast.
Yeah, she came back saying really good things about it. Loved the worship, and so we were so glad she got to go and do that. Yeah,
so I took Ivy, and we went and played softball. She's playing softball, so we went and took a bucket of balls and did some hitting and practiced and had some fun. So it was a good weekend.
Maddie said that she hung out with her friend all weekend and also went to youth convention. So that's fun. Anybody else do anything exciting or significant? Or maybe just you stayed in all day and like read a book. That's
it rained
too.
All day Sunday.
All day.
Like all day, like the whole just like this constant drizzle rain, like it was just all day. But then Monday we were able to, because it got a little bit nicer, it was about 69, 70 in there, and we took our boat out for the first time this year, so that was fun.
I think we should talk about the breakfast that I made.
That was amazing.
On Monday, because I went, okay, here's what happens. If you are a parent of teenagers, I think you'll be able to identify with this. So Adeline had a friend sleep over Sunday night. So Monday, I was the first person up in the house, and I thought, I'm going to make my family a really great breakfast. And I on my grocery order had thought about this. We had orange juice, which we almost never buy orange juice just because of the sugar in it and whatever. So I had orange juice. I made hash browns, bacon, an egg, cheese, and mushroom
omelet
with sausage.
Yeah, and sausage.
Omelet. So I made 2 different breakfast meats, right? Bacon and sausage. And I made waffles. I made chocolate chip waffles and blueberry pecan waffles.
Hence why I went and ran this morning.
And so here I am feeling like mom of the year, right? I'm making this big breakfast. It's a holiday weekend. We're going to have this nice family breakfast. And then Adeline and her friend walk into the kitchen. And I can tell they're not happy. And I'm thinking, what is wrong with these 2 girls? Why are they not happy? But I don't say anything, right? Because when you have a teenager, you just kind of pick your battles. And I didn't. I thought, who knows, right? Maybe they just wanted to have, get up and have the house to themselves or something like that. So then they leave. And then they come back in 5 minutes later, and Adeline mentions, we were going to make crepes. So they had this whole plan the night before that for breakfast they were going to make crepes, and then they come in and see that I already have this full breakfast, and so, but I played it cool, and I just said, okay, that's fine. You guys, I'm almost done in here, and then you guys can eat whatever you want and make crepes. And it turned out fine, right?
And they did.
They did.
Yeah.
And they were really good. We ate, and then I had a couple bites of their crepes, and then the kids cleaned up. So it all worked out. Anyway, good morning, Carol. Carol said she had a wonderful day with her family. There are so many babies. Carol, I saw some pictures of you on Facebook holding one of your sweet little granddaughters. It was such a great photo. So I'm glad you had a good weekend and got to spend time with your family. That's awesome.
So our morning scripture today is found in 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. And it says, "No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind, and God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear, but when you are tempted, he will also provide a way out so that you can endure it." And when this came up on my Bible app, I was looking at it, and I don't know and I don't remember where I heard it or saw it, but someone referenced that they didn't believe that. Either they didn't believe it, they didn't think it was in the Bible, or like something. And I don't remember where or how, but I just vividly remember someone saying, "That's not true. God, will tempt you, more than you can." And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, no, he like. And like, just because you failed, like because you stumbled and gave in to temptation, doesn't mean that God tempted you beyond, that you had the strength to. And it says he will also provide a way out. He'll provide a way out, but it's up to you of whether you choose that way out. So, what do you think?
I don't really have anything inspiring to add. Sorry, guys.
I just think it's good to know that, that we are going to be tempted, but we're also, God will, provide a way for you to, to get out. And it's, it's a decision on our part on whether we're going to take it or not. But sometimes it feels like, God is tempting me, or I'm being tempted beyond what I can bear. And it's not true. God's word, tells us plainly that He's not, that we won't be tempted beyond what we can bear, and that there is a way out, and that choice is always ours. So
that's great.
So what do you have for us for our favorite things?
Well, speaking of breakfast, so we talked about breakfast a little bit. You guys, I bring weird things in for you. So today I actually brought something that I eat for breakfast most other days of the week. So if I'm going to eat breakfast, this is most likely what I'm going to have. And it is, I feel like I'm on the Truman Show. Do you remember the wife? And whenever she's making breakfast, she's like, "Try this chocolatey delicious breakfast drink," and turns to the camera and like gives a little promo. I love that movie. Anyway, these are steel cut oats. I'll prop them up I just get them at Walmart. I don't know if anybody else sells them. They're not a Walmart brand, so I would guess so. But what I like about them, this is a brand new box because I finished off the last box. Have you ever tried these?
I think I've had them once or twice.
You probably didn't like them.
I don't typically eat breakfast, so. My
kids don't really like oatmeal. No one in the house really likes oatmeal.
I like it.
I used to make it like a big pot of oatmeal for breakfast, but no one really liked it that much except for Brooklyn and I. So it comes in little pouches like this. And what I like about it is first of all, it's steel cut oats instead of the like flattened, smashed down, more processed oats. So they're better for you. And they come in these individual pouches that when you want to make it, also what I like about it is there's no sugar and there's no flavoring. So it's just plain. So you can do whatever you want with it, which means there's not a bunch of added calories. So when you want to make it, it has like a little tear along the dotted line. You tear it here. And then do you see how it says measuring cup pouch? So it tells you how much water you fill the pouch up with water. So
after you dump
the pour the oats. This is way too long to talk about steel cut oats. I'm going to do it anyway. You pour the oatmeal in a big, I do it in like a kind of like a measuring cup because you want it to be tall because it bubbles up a lot. So you cook it. That's the other thing about it. So I'm sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. Generally, if you make steel cut oats in a pot with water, it takes like 45 minutes to make them. It's not like, maybe not that long. It's been a long time since I've done it. But it's not like regular oatmeal that takes 3 minutes or 1 minute, depending on what kind you have. They take a long time to cook. Sometimes people even do them overnight because they take so long to cook. So this, you dump the oats in a bowl, then you put the water in the pouch so it measures it for you, dump it in there, and you put it in the microwave for 2.5 minutes. And obviously all these instructions are on here. And then it's perfectly cooked. And then I add a little bit of milk to mine, and I add just a few pecans and some blueberries. And it's like the best breakfast. It's super filling. It's 0 sugar. Well, like added sugar. Yes, 0 sugar. And this whole pouch is 130 calories. So that's a really low calorie breakfast.
Yeah.
It also has 4 grams of protein in it. And oatmeal is...
Keep going. Don't let me stop you.
I'm so sorry. Oatmeal is... I'm not a nutritionist. I don't know. Oatmeal... This is really not funny, is it?
No, I don't know what you're laughing at.
Oatmeal is really good for your cholesterol. So I read a story about a guy who had high cholesterol, and instead of taking medication, he ate oatmeal, plain oatmeal, not flavored, not with all the extra junk, oatmeal every day, every morning for like 2 months, and it naturally brought his cholesterol down. So that's not why I eat it, because I don't think I have high cholesterol.
And out of all the food things you talk about, I'm still not hungry. So right now, usually when you talk about food, no.
Okay, when you go to the doctor, you leave not knowing anything the doctor said. So for all I know, you do.
Well,
you just don't listen.
I mean, I listen for the highlights. It's like, you're gonna die. Something's wrong with you. You need to take. He's never said anything, except lose some weight. So.
Okay. Well, anyway, these steel Cut Oats. I don't know why I can't stop laughing. They're really good. I think you should try them at Walmart or maybe other local stores near you. Better Oats. Steel.
All right, moving on. Oh, Lord.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
It's first day after a long weekend.
Yesterday, we took the boat out for the first time this year. Mm-hmm. And I was prepared for the worst because you just never know what's going to happen, right? But everything went great. But then the funny thing is, on the radio this morning, I heard them talking about how entertainment in their town was to go to the boat launch and watch people put their boats in the water.
That's so funny.
It's like guaranteed you're going to watch a disaster happen or a marriage end right in front of your eyes. And one of my best friends, her and her husband bought a brand new pontoon boat several years ago, and they kept it for 1 season, and then they sold it because it caused so much marital strife. They would get in a big fight every time they had to park it or trailer it because
there's a pressure. There's a lineup of cars waiting to put their boat in. There's boats waiting to get out, and you want to do it as quickly as possible. And so
it's no joke. You have to be prepared and ready for the boat launch.
We did good, though.
We did great. Yeah.
So we're going to jump into, after that nice long spiel on steel cut oats, we're going to jump into our marriage minute. And I got this off of the Focus on the Family website. And I think this is really good. And I was kind of looking through, one of the things that really I think will help you strengthen your marriage, but in different ways and different reasons, is really life planning and really talking about the future and being able to dream together as a couple of what do you see, where do you see yourself, where do you see our kids, if you have kids, and it really helps because if one person is saying hey, I kind of see over here, or hey, I want to go back to college and get a different degree, and they're like, whoa, okay, I didn't realize that we were going to have that expense. And so there's all these different that really helps to come up when you talk about your dreams and where do you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road. And it's not in cement, but I think that now more than ever we see people changing occupations and jobs and different things, and so it's good to talk to your spouse about those so kind of, hey, this is where I see myself and our family going, and
I love those conversations. I think they are fun to have, and it is fun to dream together and talk about the future together and have something to look forward to, and to know that you're like walking towards the same common goal.
Yeah. The next one you really enjoy doing.
It's my favorite, and that is planning a vacation. So I love to plan trips, and I like everything about it. I like reading the reviews of the hotels and the activities, and checking out TripAdvisor and Yelp, and finding cool restaurants, and planning out the day. And so I especially love to go to new places, and like places we've never been before, and figure out, hey, this would be really fun to do. In fact, I once planned a trip for myself and some family members to go to Paris and London for a week and a half, and I, planned every single day.
Yeah.
I had a map, and I, marked every museum and every site we wanted to see, and then I planned out each day what it's going to look like, which events and attractions we're going to hit, and I love it. I think it's just as much fun as the trip itself.
But it's good to, sit down with your spouse and hey, what do you want to do this year or next year? Or, hey, and if you want to go to Disney, you should start planning probably 3 to 5 years in advance and saving. And, you know what I mean? And talk about what do we want to do? And it's something to look forward to. Plus it kind of puts the cards on the table because, there's, all different kinds of vacations. There is kind of the relaxing, beachside vacation where I don't do anything. And then there is the theme park vacation. And those are two very, very different vacations.
Right. There can be some tension on the table.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes you don't have the same vision for what you want your vacation to be.
Yeah.
So for instance, you have always been, let's rent a house on the lake somewhere.
Yes.
That's always your
my go-to.
Yeah, and I enjoy that, but I don't always like spending the money on that. I'd rather go someplace new or do something more exciting. So a couple of years ago, we decided that we were going to do this lake house vacation, but I wasn't completely on board, and I said okay, and I maybe I was being passive aggressive, and I didn't realize it at the time, but I wasn't very involved in the planning process. So when you showed me the house you wanted to rent, I just looked at it and said, yeah, that looks fine. I didn't read the reviews. I didn't get into the details or any of that. And then later, we all paid the price, right? Because we got there, and it was not as nice as we were led to believe it would be. There was mouse poop all over the beds. I won't even get into all of this, but
there's no air conditioning or Wi-Fi.
There was no Wi-Fi, and it rained several days, and we had no Wi-Fi. The TV or DVD player did not work.
Yeah.
And we had our kids and your sister's
My sister's there,
so
my
had
parents.
5 children.
Right.
Stuck in the house with no Wi-Fi, no air conditioning, with the mice.
And I say it's your fault.
It's my fault. It'll go down in history because I wasn't involved in that trip. So lesson learned, guys.
And I think one of the things along with, vacation planning goes financial planning. And I think that if you want to save yourself from some fights in the future, you need to have at least an idea of some goals and how you plan finance, because money is one of the top reasons that couples fight. And so you want to make sure that you sit down and discuss, hey, how much are we going to spend on vacation? Because one person might be thinking one number, another person I was thinking we were going to spend double that. And so, you need to.
I don't like to be on a budget when I'm on vacation. I like to just go, and if we've budgeted a certain amount, but we want to, but I don't like to have the restriction. I feel like it's vacation. We should. But you, on the other hand, our last vacation that we took, every time I looked at you, you had your spreadsheet on your phone pulled out, and you were writing in the numbers, like how much we spent for
right,
dinner.
but I didn't really say no. I was doing it more for, I want to know next year how much did we spend.
But here's the thing. I actually was relieved, though, when I felt like we were overspending. I could say to you, you know, I don't know, or like I felt like dinner was more than we thought. And you would say, oh, we're fine. We're right on track. We're still in budget because we didn't go out for breakfast or we didn't. And so the times that I would feel guilty because we were overspending, you
felt
knew.
Like we were.
Right. But we actually weren't. Yeah. And so it was a good balance, I think. Yeah. Even though I didn't always like it, I did like it too, right?
And there's so many more things to, you know, sit down and financially, you know, like how much are we going to save? Are we going to start paying it off debt? And, you know, how much do we need to budget for groceries? And, you know what I mean? Like clothes for kids. And, you know, there's just so many things, you know, retirement. And then there's, you know, all these different things that you need to really sit down and have a conversation with your spouse, and it's going to strengthen your marriage because it's gonna, the more you talk, right? Communication is gonna, you know, really set you up to have less conflict in the future. And, you know, finances are one of the top, you know, reasons that spouses, you know, or couples argue and get in fights over. And so you want to, you know, have a good idea of how you're going to be managing your finances. So
I think the point is, instead of burying your head in the sand and just kind of avoiding it, it's better to sit down, set aside a night, say, hey, we're going to go pick up some lattes and come home and just sit and work on this, or we're going to have dessert together and do this. Eat something you enjoy. That's my main trick. That always makes it more
I enjoy
pleasant.
doing it. Like I want to know, like
you're always like, okay, are you ready to sit down and look at our budget now? And I'm like, I don't want to. Do we have to? Do we have to do this? But it's always good. I'm always glad we do it
because it's so relieving for me to know where our money is going and how much we have, don't have, and instead of wondering and crossing our fingers that, you know, checks are going to clear. That's no fun. And so,
does anybody write checks anymore? I think I write
one
check a month.
You know, I just automatic withdrawals, whatever. And so, last is write down some goals. Sit down with your spouse and write down some life goals together, things that you hope to achieve together, you know, independently for your, maybe as, you know, in your job, in your career, for your kids, but writing goals down. And there's been a million studies about it that it just, you know, I don't have the exact statistics, but I mean, it just makes such a huge difference. Like, I mean, it's not even close.
Even the difference between having them in your mind versus writing them down and putting them on paper, statistically, your chance of achieving them. Yeah. Like, I don't know.
I don't know it, but I don't have the statistic, but
it's much higher.
It's not even close.
You should have looked that up.
Honey. I should have.
Come on.
So we are going to move on to our trivia.
So our trivia question for the week, if you know the answer, you are going to text it to 315-506-4506, and the first person to text in the correct answer is going to get texted back to you a $5 Dunkin' Donut gift card. So our trivia question for the week is, this wasn't last week because we missed last week.
We did?
Yeah, I had to take Adeline to a dentist appointment.
Oh, sorry.
But what was 2 weeks ago? Oh, this is going to be hard if you can remember from 2 weeks ago. What was our favorite thing from 2 weeks ago? I'm not going to give you any hints. So you either know it or you don't. And if you know, text that answer in to that number and we will send you out a $5 Dunkin' Donut gift card. And you can try Mike's favorite drink of the month. I think we've spent $100, speaking of budgeting, at Dunkin' Donuts on your new favorite drink.
I know, but you know what's funny though?
Tell everybody what it is.
Oh, it's the signature hot latte caramel craze at Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it so much. I've looked up what is in it. Can I recreate this?
Right.
And it is phenomenal.
Do you want to know what I looked up about the caramel craze latte? I was ordering you. Did you just roll your eyes?
Yes, I did.
I was ordering one on the app, and do you know how many calories are in that latte? Do you remember? I told you.
Oh, I remember. It's a pretty easy number to remember.
What is it, honey?
Like 500?
Over 500 calories. So you could have 4 packs of steel cut oats oatmeal and not eat for the rest of the day and have low cholesterol.
Yeah, I'll take the latte every time.
Or a 500 calorie drink.
But this is what helps me is because I got up and ran this morning, and legit, I was going over the bridge, coming up to Dunkin', and that's when I realized I forgot my latte at home, and I'm like, I'll just stop and get a latte at Dunkin', because I went out of my way. It took me a few minutes to make my latte at home, and then...
Wait, you got a latte this morning?
Shh, I'm telling a story. And so I come over the bridge, I see Dunkin', I'm like, oh, I forgot my latte. And I was like, I'll just get one at Dunkin'. And I pull up to the stoplight, and then I remember 500 calories. And I got up and went for a run, so I did not get the latte. And so, because, exercising, yes, eating healthy makes more of an impact and helps you lose weight more than exercise. But when I exercise, I eat healthier.
Isn't that so funny? I do too. When you start your day off with some kind of a workout, you feel like I don't want to waste it or blow it from my diet for the day. And so it helps me too. Yeah. Well, I didn't do my walk or my jog this morning because I stayed up too late. You guys know me, right? Especially Monday, this is like our Monday, I stay up too late the night before, and then I end up sleeping because I'm just too tired.
You want to stretch the weekend out as long as possible.
I don't want it to end.
Yeah.
So I'm not as disciplined as you are. But I did get up early enough to do a Pilates workout. So I at least got that done. Good morning, Mary. Hope you're having a great week. Hi, Kay. We love you guys. Hope you have the best week. Today is a Tuesday that feels like a Monday, so our whole week's going to be thrown off. But it's good.
It's going to be a short week, and we are so excited for this coming weekend at MV Church. It is our Believe weekend, a weekend of healing, and let me tell you, we are excited. We know and believe that God is going to touch and heal people's lives. So I believe we're going to see physical healing, spiritual, emotional, mental. We are going to see God move in such a great way this weekend. We've been praying, we've been fasting, we've been building in our word, building our faith. We hope you come into this place fully expecting God to touch you and to change your life. And for those that watch online, I believe that God is going to heal people just watching online and participating wherever you are. So, man, we have services Thursday at 7 p.m. We're going to kick it off. In person. And then on Sunday at 9:30 and 11 in person and online. So you could come Thursday night, bring someone with you, and bring someone different on Sunday. And it's going to be a great, great weekend.
Awesome. We are over time.
Yeah. Has anybody texted in? I guess it was too long. So.
I will give you a hint, one more hint before we end. So if you get it, still the first person, it plugs in.
Ooh.
It plugs in. Some kind of a device that plugs in.
All right. Well, that's all we have for you today. We hope you have a great week, and we'll see you this weekend.